Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Thursday, 3rd day of May. Here we go. Today, another one of those halachas about the malachas, or the works that you're not allowed to do on Shabbos. Here we go. One of the 39 things you're not allowed to do on Shabbos is tying a knot. They used to tie knots in the Mishkan when they built it. And remember, as we explained yesterday, those things that were done in the building of the Mishkan, those are the 39 works that you're not allowed to do on Shabbos. It's going to surprise you. The Gemara asks, where on earth did they tie knots? And one of them is in the making of the nets that were used for capturing the fish, whose dye were needed in the making of some of the colors for the coverings of the Mishkan. So knots had to be tied in those nets. Knots also had to be untied, and so there are two separate malachas under the list of 39. One of them called tying a knot, one of them untying a knot. Now, how does this apply to you? Simple. One standard example for you guys to watch out for if you're ever playing with your tzitzis or your talis, and you know the last knot, which sometimes loosens up, and you just grab the two strings and pull on them, so it's like tight and permanentifies, becomes permanent knot again, bam. You could be guilty, min haTorah, biblically, of tying a knot if you do that. So don't get in the habit of just yanking on your tzitzis strings, especially on Shabbos. When you do that, you could be guilty of tying a knot on Shabbos. Please consider that whenever you're wrapping up a Torah and you're doing the Galila, I know that there are all kinds of fasteners that they have on Torahs now. Velcro, no problem. Hooks, no problem. But if it's one of those older ones where it's like a belt, a material belt, if you were to tie it tightly into a double knot, you would be guilty of tying a knot on Shabbos while you're doing your Galila. And by the way, the guy who opens it, if he opens it on Shabbos, would be guilty of untying a knot, so please be very careful about that. Tying your shoes is no problem at all. That crossover maneuver that's done is not a knot, and the tying of a bow that's done on top of the crossover, that's also not considered a knot, so tying shoes is totally fine. And the general rule always is whatever kind of knot you're not allowed to tie, that's the same kind of knot that you're not allowed to untie on Shabbos. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.